Well, very pleased with our second half in particular. I thought it was a very even 30-30 tie, self-explanatory, but I thought we didn't play well. They didn't play well. You know, it was back and forth in the first half, but the second half we kept defending them. We did a wonderful job all game long with our defensive field goal percentage, and ultimately we got the lid to come off the basket for a few threes. So we made 7 threes in the first half. We made none in the first, and that's the difference. That's the discrepancy.
Questions for Fred and Ron only. Here on the left first.
Yeah, Ron, there's a stretch in the second half you guys were able to extend the lead a little bit while you and Fred were kind of alternating rest time. How important was that stretch with some other guys stepping up and making some shots?
It's always nice to see teammates step up and play their best. I think the reason for the run was we weren't fouling them, getting them to the free throw line, getting those easy, uncontested shots. And our bigs started contesting without fouling, and we were able to get some stops in a row. And Fred and I hit a couple threes there to get things going early on, and the momentum started to shift slowly, and we just kind of grasped it and kept on rolling.
Here in the front right.
Austin Ward, ESPN. Fred, it was hard to tell what happened on that play early that cut your eye, and then when you went to the bench, I don't know, were you more in pain or just annoyed that you had to sit out there?
Yeah, definitely. Just frustrated. Wanted to be out there. It didn't hurt at all. I didn't even know it was bleeding until Anton told me, so I tried to shut him up so the ref didn't see it. The ref ended up seeing it, and, you know, yeah, well, I couldn't feel it, so I was just trying to take the ball out so I get another play in. Got over there, I was just hoping that I didn't need stitches because that's just going to take more time, and I also hate getting stitches. So, you know, we got the best trainer in the world, Todd Fagan, and he patched me up real quick and got me back out there.
Yep, here in the right again.
Obviously, you guys as the upperclassmen are you're leading this team, but they cut the lead to 1, and you had a freshman and a sophomore hit big threes, Connor and Marcus. How big is that for you to have these young guys that can step up in big moments as you move through the tournament?
Fred, can you answer that first, please?
It just speaks volumes to our depth. You know, we work so hard on the young guys, and for them to step up in those moments is huge for our team. This time of year, that's what you need. I mean, teams are too good to just have, you know, 1 or 2 guys carry the show all night. So it's going to take a total team effort, and those 2 guys made a couple big shots. Connor made 2, Marcus made 1, and Zach Brown made 1 also after struggling in the first half. So huge shots, and that gave us some momentum, and, you know, we were able to get stops and get some rhythm going.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm happy for those guys. They put a lot of time into their craft, and they were able to knock down some shots, and Fred did a good job creating for his teammates like he always does. And ultimately, we want to feed off those shots that went in tonight and continue to shoot the ball a little bit better. We've been struggling as of late, and I think it's a good confidence builder to move on to this next game.
Here on the left.
Fred, you got some three-pointers to go down early in the half. How much did that just energy, relief, just really help this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how that works. I was telling the guys at halftime, all it takes is 1, and it's contagious. So, you know, I ended up being the guy that hit the first one, I believe, and then Ron hit 1, and we were able to get it going. And, you know, it's a double-edged sword where it gets other guys going and it loosens the defense up and spaces them out a little bit more too, just by nature. So able to get a couple of shots to go down. You're going to have to make some threes, obviously, to win these ball games, and we were able to do that.
Here on the left, follow-up.
Hey, Ron, Rono Nerger gave you a real lift off the bench. Tell us about his performance tonight.
Rono's been putting a lot of work in practice. He's been giving us good minutes, good practice minutes. We really like his aggressiveness at the rim. He does a good job at rim protecting, and he had some really big plays at the rim tonight, especially when their point guard drove in there late, and he just straight up and down made a good contest on the ball. And those are the plays our 5-men are starting to have to make. As long as we can keep their players off the foul line, early on in games, I think we have a pretty good chance in our half-court defense.
Got time for 2 more questions. Right here.
Fred, Connor's been struggling a little bit with confidence this season. Had a bad stretch in the second half. Came back in, made a very important shot, made another one. Just talk about his contribution.
That's big time. I mean, that's what we expect Connor to do, is make shots. And I think expectations were crazy on him early. He's been able to fight through that, and I'm as hard on him as anybody. But it's out of love, and I just want him to be the best that he can be. So we keep instilling confidence in him. I think he has it. It's just about finding his spots. And sometimes, you got to be a little bit lucky too. And he was able to get a nice couple rainbow threes in that really, stretched the game open. So got to give him a ton of credit, for being pretty mentally tough through there, through a tough stretch when he got scored on a couple times, and he was able to bounce back and forget about it, knock down some crucial threes.
More questions? Got time for one more last one here, Laurel.
Can I just get some thoughts on facing Arizona? It's a quick turnaround, another good offense that you guys will be facing.
Fred, then Ron.
Tough team. Arizona is one of the top, programs in the country for a long time now. They're a really good team. We're able to catch some of their games this year. They're always late with the West Coast times, but they've got a huge front line and a couple of young and really talented guards. So, we're already shifting our minds towards that with a quick turnaround, catch a first flight out of here tonight, and head to Rhode Island, get some rest, and try to game plan for Arizona tomorrow.
Ron?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is just the excitement. We're trying to have fun with each and every game in this tournament, and Arizona happens to be the next opponent. Fred and I had the opportunity to meet Tarzuski this summer in Colorado. Wow, that he's a good kid, high character guy. Coach Miller does a good job with his program each and every year, and we're just excited to match up with him. And I know Coach is going to have us ready with film and the process tomorrow, just preparing. And so we're excited.
Fred and Ron, thank you for your time. Good luck against
Thanks.
the Wildcats. Questions for Coach Marshall here on the end. Kevin. To your left.
Gregg, you mentioned yesterday that height is very overrated as a stat. How were you guys able to neutralize and really outplay their bigs inside?
Well, I don't remember saying it was overrated, but maybe I did. I think I said I'd like to have a little more height, but our guys just scratch and claw and fight and really battle. I learned from one of my mentors, John Kress at the College of Charleston, that you always have to have 3 guys that can defend the post. And tonight we went off with a 4th guy in the first half. Anton Grady subbed in quickly for Shaq Morris, did a great job, especially on the offensive end. Then Rano Nerger played very well in the first half, and he got a couple of fouls, and we were able to put Bushwa Makota, our 4th defensive post player, in. Damian Jones is a very talented player. I've seen him, first-round draft pick by some publications as a projection. But our guys just hung in there, and they fought every possession, and they I think just the wave of fresh players and 6'8", 6'9" guys going at him was very effective.
Here on the right.
Gregg, Connor had a stretch where he gave up a three-pointer, a three-point play, defensively got taken advantage of a little bit. He went to the bench. I don't know that any of us thought he would reappear, but you put him back in, and he made 2 of the biggest three-pointers of the game. Just talk about the decision to put him back into the game, if that's one of your hallmarks as a coach, is to not have any memory of the bad stuff.
Well, we've got X amount of guards. We're still down a guard, as you know, with Landry Shamet, who played 3 games, and he would be out there. He was in the rotation. He was maybe the 3rd guard behind Ron and Fred. It would be very close with he and Connor right now, so we're down a guard. you've got to play the guards that you have, and Zach Brown is our fourth guard, along with then you get to J.R. Simon and Tyrone Taylor. So Connor, those guys needed a blow. Ron and Fred were playing so hard, and they were both exhausted, and they told me, they were very honest with me, I need a blow. And Connor fouled the three-point shooter twice. That's the biggest thing that I was concerned about, playing defense and coming up with loose balls and doing those type things. But I'm going to ride with Connor Frankamp when the ball leaves his hand. I really feel like it's going to go in. He talked to me before we left that he's going to make some shots, which he didn't in St. Louis, but he's going to make some shots. And I just said, look, stop talking about it, okay? I need you to do it. And he stepped up big. Zach Brown made a big one too, as well as Marcus McDuffie. So those guys also contributed.
You're in the front on the right.
Coach, how did you feel that your defensive activity on the perimeter especially maybe disrupted Vanderbilt's offense?
Well, let's see. They had 16 field goals. Baldwin had 3. And LaChance had 4. That's 7. Toy made some threes. He hurt us in the first half. He really did. Played well. But other than that, I thought we were really good. I thought our guards neutralized them. Baldwin is tremendous when he starts going downhill, and we were very diligent in not fouling him. Sometimes he gets in there and he just puts up a circus shot because he's looking for contact. So I thought we did a good job of not fouling him. One time Fred stripped him. Another time a couple of our bigs altered his shot without fouling. So that was good. But he's a very talented player. And Fisher Davis, did not make any threes. So that was a real concern that we had because he's like Connor Frankamp at 6'5". When the ball comes out of his hand, it looks really good. So we were trying to stand on his toes and did a good job of that.
Time for one more question. Last one here on the left.
Start making some threes early in the first half. How much of a relief was that just from giving them kind of an energy boost at that point?
Well, I think the game was very identical to the first half, but like as I've said in my opening statement, but the difference is you make 7 threes. We made none in the first half. We make 7 in the second half. We win by 20. You got to knock down some shots in this game, and we haven't been doing that. But I still have faith in my guys. I have faith in my shooters, and ultimately, our success or failure in Providence, Rhode Island now is going to be determined by us being able to knock down some shots. Because Arizona, I haven't seen them on film yet. I've been concentrating on Vanderbilt one game at a time. We have been doing some advanced scouting, but I assume they've got some pretty big guys too.
Greg, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Good luck against Arizona.